So, hello and welcome to another episode of Cut the Cord Lunch and Learn series. I'm so excited that you joined us today. Every Wednesday at noon Central Time, we will release a new episode of Cut the Cord. Make sure you download the show notes as your takeaway gift and use them to help guide you through the rest of the week. And share them with your team. I guarantee you they're going to be beneficial to you. So you may ask, what is cut the cord? Cut the cord is cutting the thing that's holding you back, cutting whatever ties that are holding you to the ground from soaring high like an eagle. So we want you to cut the cord and fly, because we know that you have the ability to fly. Today's session is going to be a quick 30 minutes, and we're going to be in and out. It's on live on YouTube and on our Facebook pages. So today's session is all about priorities. See, you can't manage time. You can't control time. It moves on with or without you. However, you can manage and control your priorities. See, it's not time that is the problem. It's what you do with it that's really the problem. So what's your priorities? And the question is not, will my calendar be full? Because we know it will be. The question is, who and what will fill my calendar? See, I love what William James said. He says, the art of being wise is knowing what to overlook. Now, isn't that just a powerful statement? The art of being wise is knowing what to overlook. I would probably add on there what to also delegate. So by the end of this session, I want you to answer these two questions for yourself. Now, be ready to write these down. If you already have the show notes, they're on the bottom of your show notes. But here are the two questions that you need to answer for yourself, not for anybody else, just for yourself. The first question is, how can I do my best? How can I do my best? How can I be the best version of me? And then the second question is, how can I do better today than I did yesterday? Those are the two questions that you need to answer for yourself by the end of this session. So I want you to go ahead and sit back, relax, and enjoy this session of Cut the Cord. I know you're going to really enjoy it. Well, hello. I'm glad to be back with you again today for another session of Cut the Cord. My topic for the day is priorities. What must I change? So many years ago, I learned a concept called the Pareto Principle. Have you heard of it? Essentially, it states that 80% of our results come from 20% of our priorities. It matters because I discovered early on that there's never enough time to do everything, but there's always enough time to do the most important things. Okay, for those of you who are a little bit slower with math like me, let me break it down for you this way. See, 80% of the food at a picnic is consumed by 20% of the people. 80% of the questions are answered by 20% of the students. 80% of the clothes in your closet are worn 20% of the time. 80% of the projects are done by 20% of the team members. 80% of sales is generated by 20% of the people. 80% of the class discussion is done by 20% of your students. Now you get it. It makes sense, doesn't it? Right? When I learned this concept way back in college, it changed the way I spent my time. See, I was doing too many things because I wanted to be so involved, and I was spreading myself too thin. But I was doing the wrong things. See, I needed to start working smarter, not harder, to get where I wanted to go. So as you develop your inner leadership and start increasing your influence with others, it's imperative that you evaluate your priorities. See, if you're managing your time and cramming your days with the wrong things, you'll stalemate. You'll just be doing a lot of stuff, my friend. See, you'll get stuck on managing instead of leading yourself well. Let me say that again. You're going to get stuck managing your time and managing things instead of leading yourself well. That's why today I'm going to give you the 3 R's to determining the few priorities you need in your top 20%. Top 20%, that's it. See, there's never enough time to do everything, but there's always enough time to do the most important things. But let me make sure you understand me. There's never enough time to do everything, but there's always enough time to do the most important things. See, you're going to use these 3 questions to determine what are your top 20%. Okay, these three R's will help you evaluate your priorities so that you're successful in leading yourself and avoiding a stalemate at all costs. Let's just dive right in. Number 1, you have to ask yourself, what is required of me? What must I do that only I can do? What is required of me? See, any realistic assessment of priorities in any area of your life must start with the realistic assessment of what you must do. And I need to make sure you understand this, what only you can do. See, for you to be good, for you to be a good spouse, a good parent, a good leader, a good teammate, a good follower, you have to understand what is required of me. To satisfy your employer, you have to ask yourself, what must you do? See, if you lead others, you must understand and know personally to do what it is you must personally know what you cannot delegate to someone else. You must understand how you're going to lead, what's required of you only and only you. You see, things that matter most must never be at the mercy of things that matters least. I love that a German poet said that many years ago. Things that matter most must never be at the mercy of things that matter least. Number 2, what's my return? What areas of life give you the most joy, fulfill your passion, and fuel you every day? What areas are those? As you progress in your career, you begin to discover that some activities yield a much higher return for effort than others, right? After determining those requirements, focus on choices with a high ROI or return on investment. You see, focus on choices with a high ROI. And only you know what that high ROI is for you. See, the law of priority says activity is not accomplishment. Productivity is accomplishment. Now, I need to make sure you understand what I just said. Activity is not accomplishment. Productivity is accomplishment. See, a lot of people have a lot of stuff on their calendar. Just because you have stuff on your calendar doesn't mean you're doing anything. You're just doing stuff. You're just taking up time. You're just wasting the clock. Activity is not accomplishment. Productivity is accomplishment. You know, Jack Welch was the CEO of GE, and when he took over and he refocused the entire organization on a smaller number of product lines that they would be great at rather than several things that they could just be good at. You see, what he was trying to do is help the team understand that the greatest success in any endeavor is to focus yourself or your team on what really matters. Never accept good when great is available. Never accept good when best is available. Never accept better when best is available. However you want to say it. Never accept lesser when greater is available for you, to you, within you, and through you. So your greatest return will be in the giftedness. What are you good at? Experience. What have you done well and proven success at? And growth. What are you learning, and what are you what else do you want to learn? What are you learning now? And what else could you learn in the future? You see? Now, let's go to number 3, but let me recap. The first one was, what's required of me? The second one is, what's my return? And now the third R is, what's rewarding to me? What areas of life are most satisfying to me? If you only do what you must, along with what is effective, then you will probably be highly productive. You see that? I know you're getting that, right? But you can't be content with it. See, I think it's also important to consider what gives you personal satisfaction. You get that? You with me, friend? Just shake your head and nod and say, yes, you're with me. I can see you. Right? So you got to find the thing that you would do for nothing, but learn it so well. See, this is the differential right here. Find the thing that you would do for nothing, but learn how to do it so well that people will pay you a premium for it. That's where you should be. See, the question is not, will my calendar be full? Because we know it's going to be full. The question is, who and what will fill my calendar? You see, you're going to have a lot of people that want to get on your calendar, but you got to learn to decipher. You have to learn to filter out what you don't need to do, what doesn't need to be on your calendar. You see, this is why I got an automated calendar process so that I can filter what I'm going to put on my calendar. It's all in the priorities, right? William James said this: the art of being wise is knowing what to overlook. Ooh, that was a good one, right? The art of being wise is knowing what to overlook. See, these questions are meant to be asked in the order that I gave them to you. See, many people would love to skip down to number 3 and focus on the most rewarding and exciting and fun activities. But no one can be successful who doesn't possess the discipline to take care of the first 2 areas before getting to the third. So you can't skip a step. You can't cheat. See, shortcuts you can't do. You see, because that doesn't lead to success. All that leads to is a longer road to getting to where you want to be. So you got to start with number 1, and then you move to number 2, and then you get down to number 3. My good friend Ralph, well, he's not really my good friend, but I love to call him my good friend. Ralph Waldo Emerson advised, guard well your spare moments. They are like uncut diamonds. Discard them and their value will never be known. Improve them and they will become the brightest gems in a useful life. Woo! Now that is good. Whew, man, that's good. I got to charge you for that one, right? Now, I would encourage you to answer these 3 questions. Make a list and determine your top 10 priorities. Then circle the top 2. These are the 2 areas that deserve 80% of your energy. Reflect on those top 2. Are you stuck or are you succeeding? That's what you got to ask. Am I stuck or am I succeeding? See, if you want to see change in your life and really develop the leader within you, then taking charge of your time and filling it with things that matter most to you is the critical step. See, taking charge of your life and changing the way you handle priorities will change all success for you. See, when you do this, you will start to create margin in your life. See, margin just means you'll free up time in your life so that you can do some of those other things that you want to do. So let me tell you, and then I'm going to get out of here. Let me tell you how to create margin in your life. See, don't wait to create margins in your life, meaning prioritize. You got me? You heard that? You understand that? Don't wait to create margins in your life. Prioritize. It's going to automatically create margins in your life. See, you think you will do it when you have more time. Then you're going to prioritize. See, everybody always thinks they have more time. But let me let you in on a secret, folks. You see, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much money I have, we all only have 24 hours in a day. We all only have 86,400 seconds in a day. That's it. We can't buy more. We can't ask for more. We can't stop time. So you have to prioritize in order to create margin in your life. See, you think you think you'll you say to yourself, well, people need me, so I have to do this. No, let me tell you another secret. People will always need you. It doesn't mean that you have to make that a priority for you. See, in order to create margin in your life, you got to prioritize. You have to understand those 3 R's. Now, here are the questions you need to ask yourself. And you need to write these down. Let me give you a few minutes to make sure you got your pen and fresh piece of paper. Here, write these 4 questions down. I'm going to go slow with them so that you can get them. The first question is, what are the top 20% of my possessions that give me the most value? What are the top 20% of my possessions that I get the most value out of? That's number 1. Number 2, what are the 20% of the clothes that I wear 80% of the time? So you can clean out that closet. You can get rid of some stuff. What are the top 20% of the clothes that I wear 80% of the time? Get rid of everything else. Number 3, what do I spend 20% of my leisure time doing that gives me 80% of my happiness? Woo! You see, it's about finding happiness. Number 4, what are the top 20% of the people I'm close to who make me the happiest? You can get rid of all those other people that are just causing you heartache and pain, and they're not encouraging you. They're always telling you you can't do it. You're not ready for that. You're not good enough. You can get rid of those people. Who are the top 20% of the people I'm close to that make me the happiest? Ooh. Now, here's a second category of questions that you need to answer, and then I'm going to be done here. So you need to embrace the priority principle. Now, here, these are 5 questions right here, right? So determine the areas where, man, let me tell you, these are just good. You got to determine the areas where you've not lived according to good priorities. And then you have to ask yourself these 5 questions. Number 1, you ready? Are you ready for this? Here you go. Where do I need to work smarter instead of harder? Ooh. Where do I need to work smarter instead of harder? That's number 1. Number 2, what must I change to stop trying to have it all? Uh-oh, you can't have it all, folks. What must I change to have it all? By prioritizing. Number 3, what good things can I stop doing in order to do the best things? Ooh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What good things can I stop doing in order to have the best things? Number 4, what must I do to become more proactive instead of reactive? How many of you are reactive with things when you know you should be proactive with things? So what must I do to become more proactive instead of reactive? That's a good one. Number 5. Well, all of these are really good, folks, but I just love them so much. Number 5. What can I do to stop doing urgent but unimportant things? Uh-oh. Now you're gonna make somebody mad with that one, because you're gonna start telling them no. And I just want you to know, no is a great word. Sometimes you have to say it, because people come to you at the last minute saying, I need your help urgently, but it's not important to you. So what can I do to stop doing urgent but unimportant things? You see, if you don't have a plan, I think it's Peter Drucker says it, if you don't have a plan, chances are you're going to fall into somebody else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? But it might have been my friend Jim Rohn that said that, but you get the point, right? And guess what they have planned for you? Nothing. So stop doing urgent but unimportant things. Remember, you don't work your to-do, you don't work for your to-do list. Make your to-do list work for you. Let me say that again so that I make sure that you get this. Remember, you don't work for your to-do list. Make your to-do list work for you. Now go out and set priorities. Work on these 3 R's, and I guarantee you, folks, here's what's going to happen. You're going to see a change in your life. You're going to free up margin in your life. You're going to see success starts coming your way. You're going to start saying, wow, I didn't know I had all this time. Wow, I didn't realize that I could do all these things for myself. I didn't know. I didn't know. When you set priorities, you'll start to know, and it's going to make a difference every day in your life. Now go take on